What you wanna know?
What's going on, people? Mike C-Town here with another episode of What Do You Want to Know, where you ask your questions. If you like your questions, I answer your questions on camera. This is going to be a slightly different video. Typically, I answer questions that you guys send me through Tumblr, Twitter, or my YouTube discussion board. But I'm going to be honest, a lot of the questions that I've been getting lately are just not questions that I even really want to talk about. I started this channel so I could talk about things that I don't typically talk about on Dead End Hip Hop. But you guys are still sending me questions that Dead End Hip Hop should really answer. Not trying to be a dick, but questions like who's your favorite rapper or what's your favorite rap album. That's just not stuff that I'm really interested in talking about on my own channel. I may get to those questions, but they're just not moving me right now. So a lot of you guys probably don't know about the VC, the Vinyl community, but I consider myself a semi-active member. I post vinyl videos pretty regularly. I watch a lot of people's vinyl videos. And they do these things where they ask questions to the vinyl community, and people do response videos. And I've never done one of those because a lot of the times I just don't really have the time to do those. And sometimes the questions really aren't questions that I feel like my answer would be very interesting. But I recently ran across one question asked by a member, it goes by Robert Z. I'll link his video in the description section down there. And I actually saw the response that Filthy Icon gave, and that prompted me to do this video. Robert Z's video was a bit lengthy, but I think the central idea of the whole thing is, why bother being a collector when you spend so much valuable time collecting these things, but you just don't have the time to ever listen to them? He was really questioning whether or not he should just stop collecting altogether because he simply doesn't see the point in bringing home records that he's only going to listen to once or twice in the span of 10 years. And I found the video to be interesting, and I found it to be a very perplexing question because these are things that I've been asked a million times. I have not a lot of records, but I have a decent number of records. I have a shit ton of CDs, and people are always like, you don't even listen to that shit. Why do you even have it? And it's a valid question, it really is. And I find myself having a little bit of difficulty really answering that question logically. Okay, so here's the thing. When I first saw Robert Z's video, I swear the first thing that came to mind is Charles Bukowski, and it's one of my favorite quotes of his. It says, "Find what you love and let it kill you." So basically what he's saying is, find something that you're passionate about, right? And put as much as you can into that one thing. And if you're passionate about music, then don't be afraid to let it be your vice. If you're passionate about exercise, if you're passionate about fashion, whatever it is, put what you have to into it. Let it kill you. Let it consume you, because at the end of the day, that is what's going to make you emotionally happy. As to why I collect music if I'm not going to listen to it all the time, what thing is there that people collect that they're getting constant use out of? That almost defeats the whole purpose of collecting. People collect coins. They don't spend the coins. People collect stamps. They're not sticking those stamps on letters. Even if it's the most heartfelt letter to the greatest love of their life, they're not going to use that stamp. They're going to keep it in the book and keep it safe. People collect cars. They don't drive them all the time. They collect shoes. They don't wear them all the time. They collect art, but they don't spend their entire day staring at the paintings. This is what collecting is about. It's not always about listening to everything you have. It's about having that option. If I feel like listening to this, if I feel like listening to this random Merle Haggard record, A Working Man Can't Get Nowhere Today. If I feel like putting that on because I had a fucking bad day at work, I have that option, and I have the option to listen to it on a format that I prefer over some shitty ass MP3. A lot of the fun of collecting music is the journey itself, whether it's digging around for months or years to finally find that record or CD that you've been looking for, or randomly walking into a record store and just lucking up and they have it. There's something to that. There's something that adds to the spirit when that happens, holding that piece of media in your hand and knowing that it's finally yours. It's just, to a collector, it's a great feeling. You've gotten to the end of that particular journey, but you know that there are thousands upon thousands of more journeys, because you found that one record that you're looking for, but there are thousands of others that you may not even know yet that you need in your collection. So you're gonna feel that feeling sometimes because you're gonna keep digging and keep looking and keep finding things that add value, not just monetary value, but emotional value to your collection. A lot of it is about the pride, of course, the pride of having a great collection. You know, the pride of being able to show other record nerds that come to your house, you know, this super piss rare coil record that most people in your life don't give half a shit about, you know, and then you can sit back and see the look of envy on their face, and you can say things like, yeah, motherfucker, you ain't got this, but I got this, but you ain't got it. Take that shit, deal with it. No, I'm totally joking. It's not a malicious thing. It's almost like a friendly competition thing. It's not about bragging in the face of other people to make them feel bad. It's about showing things off to other like-minded people, but at the same time being willing to help them find the same record. Somebody posts a video, hey, I got this record. Oh shit, that's crazy, man. That's fucking awesome. Where'd you find that? You're never gonna find a collector, at least not that I've seen, that's gonna refuse to tell you where they found that record. If they are, they're a fucking asshole. Most of us would be like, shit, man, I found it on this website, man. Go over there and look. You might find one yourself. I got it on eBay. Go on eBay and look, man. I found it at so-and-so record store. Go there. You might find another copy or something equally awesome. You know, it's almost like being a runner and having other people that are runners. And even though you may be better than them because you worked your ass off at it, you want them to be as good as you. You're encouraging them. Come on, man, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can be just as fast as me. It's that kind of situation, man. A lot of my friends collect toys. Star Wars, He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, whatever have you. And they keep all this shit in cases in a room in their house where they can go and admire whenever they want. And a lot of people will look at that and they'll say, well, it's just toys. It makes no sense. Why do you have all these toys if you're not going to play with them? You're not a child. All you're going to do is put them in this case where you can just look at them. That seems weird. But what they don't understand is, for a lot of collectors, each one of those toys represents a part of them and a certain part of their life. When they find this super limited Jawa figure that there are only 300 in the world made, it's almost like it enhances their love of Star Wars as a whole, if that makes any sense. The collector now feels like he owns a piece of the movie, you know, or he owns a piece of the franchise, or he actually is part of that entire universe. The same goes for music for a lot of us. You know, some of us buy these albums because they take us back to a time in our lives. You know, they're place markers. A lot of records that I have, I don't really remember when I bought them or where I bought them, but some of these records, I remember exactly when I found them, how I found them, where I found them, and I remember how I was feeling that day. I remember what I was listening to on the way there. I remember the scent of the record store when I walked in there. A record like this that someone very special to me just gave to me recently, I will remember this record as long as it's in my collection. You know, I'll look back on this and I'll say, you know what? I remember what I was doing in that point of my life. I remember, you know, who I was and what was going on in my life when I got this record. Some of us who collect, we actually came up not having shit. We didn't have the money to collect anything because we couldn't really afford to spend our money on anything because we didn't have any money. But I remember personally, music always being a part of my life regardless of where we were financially. And I remember music always making me feel a certain way, getting me through some tough times, even as a young child. So it feels great being older to be able to walk into a store and pick up this copy of Smokey Robinson's Being With You, because this is something that was a huge part of my life when I was a child. This is something that was played almost daily in my house, and I'm instantly taken back to when I was a kid and hearing this record every day and knowing that nothing in the world mattered except being alive. And I can put this record on now and I swear on my life, I instantly feel that way again. Of course, you can get into the whole psychological aspect of why we collect music. You know, music is such a huge part of our lives. So many ideas can be conveyed through music, ideas that can be used to influence us in a various number of ways, influence the way we think. So in a sense, part of that obsession to own music could come from an obsession of owning what is almost owning you. Owning something that you feel has some sort of control over you. You're not breaking the control, but you're almost rationalizing the control. You're limiting the control because you're now saying, I'm only gonna let you control me when I want you to. You know, and until that time, you're gonna stay on that shelf and I don't have to worry about you. I don't have to listen to you. That's probably a bit out there, but okay, listen, I think that what it all boils down to is not everything in life has to be about practicality. Okay, sure, instead of buying records, I could put all my money into some fucking 401k. You know, I could put it in an account in order to be able to pass it along to my children if I'm ever unlucky enough to have one of those things in my life. Ugh. But if everything we did in life boiled down to practical usage, how boring would our lives be? If we only consumed food that nourished us, how boring would our lives be without things like ice cream or cookies or alcohol? You know, if we only watched movies and television that was intellectually rewarding, you know, no rom-coms, what else do people like? Adam Sandler films, no horror movies, no Martin, none of that shit, right? Sometimes life has to be about simply making yourself happy. And walking into a room and seeing all of this shit, it makes me happy. You know, because I know that I worked for this shit. And building up that collection makes me even happier. You know? But that's just me. Everyone's allowed to have whatever opinion that they want to have. But I just think that if you're trying to live your life only involving yourself with things that seem to be practical and useful, then you're wasting your short time on this earth. The mind, heart, and soul of a collector is a very, very different and special one. You know, we don't function on logic. We function pretty much purely on emotion and gratification. And sometimes in life, throwing that logic out the window in exchange for something completely irrational it's totally okay, man. Find what you love and let it kill you. And if music collecting is no longer what you love, step away, man. Step away. Give it to some other people, let it kill them. But don't feel weird about having a change of heart about why you collect. But I also think that you shouldn't really put that much thought into why you collect, because it's not about that. It's about making yourself happy. Find what you love and let it kill you. Alright, so that's it for this edition of What Do You Want to Know? You already know how you can submit your questions. Do that. As usual, thank you for living, thank you for loving, thank you for being you, and I will see you guys next time. Alright? Peace, bitches!